Hey guys, it's Dominique. It is Friday, September 18th. It's really late. I just got off of work, so I know for some of you it is actually Saturday morning, and I apologize, but this video is for Friday. You'll notice that I'm not in my usual suit and tie attire, and that is for a purpose. I do not go out in public with a tank top because I feel that it makes me feel emasculated, and it's uncomfortable, and I get dysphoric. But I shouldn't. I should be able to go out without a binder, wearing a tank top, and still be able to tell someone that I'm a man and that I'm a trans guy, and them accept it. We haven't gotten to that point in society yet, so I don't. But that is why I'm wearing this tank top, so you guys know that even though I'm just wearing a sports bra and a tank top rather than a binder and my button up and tie, I'm still just as much of a man as I was in my last video. I am still going to be just as much of a man next week and the next week. Like, I feel in my heart of hearts that I am a trans guy, that I am a man. Therefore I am. I am a man and I am a trans guy, and it doesn't matter how feminine or masculine I am after that. I have feminine hands, I have a feminine waist, there's a lot of things feminine about me. I don't like bugs, and I'm not a huge fan of germs, and I have this really bad problem with spending and shopping. But again, that doesn't make me any less of a man. I'm still a man, still a trans guy, and no matter how many feminine things I point out about myself, that doesn't take away from that title. And that's important. It's important because when I first came out, I was told that I wasn't man enough to be a transgender, and I sure as hell wasn't man enough to consider myself a man. And that really hurt. But I've learned to come to terms with that feminine part of me. I've come to terms with who I am, and I'm learning who I want to be as a man, and I'm learning about myself through this process. It's like a new beginning, which is crazy because it's kind of later in my life for that to happen, but that's okay. And it's okay if you're younger. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm learning to like who I am and to love myself for who I am and to appreciate the type of man that I am. And I think that's something everyone should do, trans or not. But I think as people who are just coming out as trans or who are trying to adjust to a new life as transgender, I think it's important for them to take that time and discover who they want to be and who they are becoming, and who they are. I think it's very important. I think that as a trans community, we've allowed society's standards for what's masculine and what's feminine to control our own terms. Plain and simple. Like, I see far too many trans guys telling other trans guys, you're not manly enough, or you're not a trans guy because of this. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. That's like a man telling you you're not a man because of this. You don't do that. You don't put each other down. Like, they're a trans guy different than you're a trans guy. And I think that if you can come to terms with who you are and you can figure out what kind of man you want to be, then it doesn't matter what society thinks. It doesn't matter what your loved ones or your closest friends think. If you tell them, hey, I want to be a man, or hey, I feel like I am a man, or hey, I'm a transgender guy, or I'm a trans man, whatever it is, however you say it, they should be okay with it. And if they're not, you should most likely let them know that, you don't feel like they're very supportive, and you feel that it would be best to separate yourself from them until they felt that they could be supportive, because you just don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You don't need anyone outside of your brain. Your brain is I know everyone's going through this process of doubting themselves enough. They don't need someone outside of their own mind telling them that they're not masculine enough or pointing out all their feminine features, because that's just going to make you more self-conscious. And you need to be able to come to terms with who you are and be happy with that and love yourself with that. Now, if you're going stealth, yeah, you're going to have to fit to society's standards for what it means to be a man, because otherwise you won't be stealth. And that's life, unfortunately. And unless you're one of the very fortunate few, you're going to most likely need testosterone and surgeries in order to be stealth and to live a stealth life. But that's not a bad thing. Either way, if you're fortunate enough to get away with stealth without it, good for you. If you don't want the surgeries, don't want the tea, and you're cool with living stealth how you are, great. If you consider yourself transgender but you don't bind and you don't pack, cool. You're still transgender. That doesn't change. My opinion of you doesn't change who you are and how you identify. Someone else's opinion of you doesn't change who you are and how you identify. And you need to remember that. It sucks seeing so many people, especially young people, who get so dysphoric and so depressed that they honestly consider taking their own lives, or they have severe emotional trauma from this, and it could be resolved so easily with A, acceptance from others, and B, acceptance from themselves. Accepting who you are and who you want to be, it's detrimental to your well-being. And I can't stress it enough. And I know I said this last week, and I'm going to say it again this week, and I'll probably say it next week, and at least every other video I make, I'm going to say this. Be yourself. Be you, and be happy. Love yourself. Everything else should fall into place after that. Alright. I hope everyone has a good night tonight, or good morning for the rest of you. And I will see you next week or the next time I'm needed. Deuces.